Hello everybody, this is Fatima Wahid speaking, and this is our English coursework project based on article writing. Before we begin, let us meet the wonderful members of this team that made this project happen. Without their hard work, this project wouldn't be so fruitful. First up is me, Fatima, the leader. Next we have Alina Koshi. Next, Maria Page. Then we have Jana Abbas. And last but not least, Aisha Naseem. These are all the talented individuals that helped create this project. Before we delve deeper into this project and show you how an exemplar article would look like, we should first enlighten you on what really is an article and what features make an article good, if not even an exemplar article. So firstly, article writing is a type of writing that is written for the sole purpose of displaying it to a large audience. The different mediums in which article writing is present in could be newspapers, magazines, and journals. So what are the tips, rubrics, and rules for article writing? So for writing a good article, you must minimize your barrier of entry. So you must make it easier for the reader to be drawn into your article by adding a catchy title or maybe an eye-grabbing introduction or opening line. So you gotta keep your paragraphs short and your text visually appealing. So there should be a balance between the empty spaces. Keep it short and sweet and precise. It wouldn't be nice to read a 2-page essay, so it's optimum or best to keep your article at a perfect length. Keep it precise, keep it concise, so that your work is not prolonged. For a good article, give it substance. Write the content for the sake of conveying the meaning and understanding. So you must tell the reader something and imagine they're asking why in response. Then you answer that question. So when writing an article, you must write a content for the sake of making the reader understand what you are writing, not just for the sake of writing and writing. It's quality over quantity and not the opposite. So, however, keeping your work short doesn't necessarily refrain you from expressing yourself artistically. Hence, it is essential to be wary of both language and content. So, these are the rubrics you must ensure when writing an article. Next up, we have our exam question, which we tackled in our project. So, you're a journalist writing an article about Mia 1 year after she appeared on the TV show The Talent. You have interviewed Mia. Write your article. In your article, you should describe Mia's behavior and attitude at the time of the show, explain how other people were affected by Mia's behavior, explore the part played by the media and the public in Mia's downfall, and how it has changed Mia's behavior 1 year on. Base your magazine on what you have read in passage A, but be careful to use your own words. Address each of the 3 bullet points. Begin the article with, let's catch up with the disgraced finalist Mia from The Talent, the diva we all loved to hate last year. Write about 250 to 350 words. Now, right from the getaway, what we can get from this question is that we have 3 points to address when answering. Describing Mia's behavior, explaining how people were affected by her behavior, and exploring part played by the media. So these 3 points must be answered and referred to in the question, in the answer, in order to gain the appropriate marks. Additionally, we should write between 200 to 350 words. So this is our word limit. We cannot exceed or go below. Next, in the question, they also mentioned that you're going to be writing a magazine article. So there are certain things that you must make note of. A magazine article has to be attractive, it has to be entertaining, it has to be enlightening, not just some dull, boring piece of text. So in our next slide, we have our passage, which is called The Price of Fame. So the paper we have referred to was paper 2 reading from October-November 2017. The link is available if you want to check out the paper, the insert, and the marking scheme. After taking your time and reading the passage, we now have the exemplar response. Everyone in our team has tackled this question. However, not many can master the art of article writing. So we chose the exemplar response to be Jana Abbas's work. And it was a really nice piece of work, and it was analyzed by both Jana and Maria, as well as some feedback from the other team members. So in Jana's article, we noticed certain bits and pieces highlighted in different colors and long sentences highlighted. So what I've noticed about Jana's article is that she has written her article in several paragraphs, and these several paragraphs adhere to the points that we have seen in the question. Those 3 points that we were asked to address, each paragraph Jana wrote was a response to that point, hence making her having a coherent and clear structure that allows an easy transition between the points and the facts that she wrote in her article. Here is the analysis of the response given by Maria. So Jana's response displayed numerous points regarding the test. She was also able to develop those ideas with the use of details from the passage to support the ideas she referred to while using her own words. So she used her own words and referred to the text in order to keep the content original and correct. Additionally, Jana was able to produce a clear and balanced response that indicates that she covered all the 3 main points of the question and understand and truly grasped the insert given by mentioning all these 3 points and addressing them by referring to the text. However, due to the absence of some points, Maria reached the conclusion of giving her 13 out of 15 for reading, which is still considered band 1. However, based on her writing, we can observe that Jana was able to mention a wide range of ideas with the use of details to support her ideas. She was also able to produce a clear, structured response with an easy transition between the points. As I've said previously, Jana's response had a coherent structure that allowed smooth transition between points and paragraphs. Furthermore, her response shows that she covered all the 3 points, therefore concluding she will get a band 1 for writing. Jana also used some ambitious vocabulary in her article, such as the word arrogant, scowls, and grounded, in which she has defined in her analysis and annotation for the text. Here we have further analysis of the response by the writer of the text, Jana herself. So the word count of the response is 333 words. Now, if you remember, our question stated that we should write between 250 and 350. Hence, Jana's response fits within the required range, thus gaining her a mark. Response reveals a thorough understanding of the passage. A wide range of ideas were applied in her article. There is sustained use of supporting detail, which is well integrated into the response, contributing to a strong sense of purpose and approach. Developed ideas are well related to the passage, and all 3 bullet points are well covered. Language is mostly fluent and there is clarity of expression. There is sufficient range of vocabulary to express ideas with subtlety and precision. The response is mainly well structured and well sequenced. Now, when we've read Jana's response, we noticed that her sentences were well framed and they were well structured. They were smooth. She used transition words to jump between paragraphs and sentences in order to smoothly transition into her next points. And her points were all valid as she mainly referred from the text and used as much details as she can from the text while adhering to her own ideas and own artistical touch. Now let us take a look at the marking scheme. Let us double check with the marking scheme to see what truly makes an exemplar response. Now, as you can see in the marking scheme, the marks rewarded for this question is 20 in total, 15 of which is available for the content of your answer, and 5 marks for the quality of your writing. And if we notice, each point is addressed in the marking scheme. So as you can see right over here, the responses might use the following ideas. So for the first point, which states to explain Mia's behavior and attitude during the show, it says that we should mention the points critical about other contestants, rude behavior to others involved in the show, boring or ignored advice of other opinions, and believed in her own talent, admired her own appearance, and ran away from stage. Now this is what Jana has mentioned. She mentioned that Mia was always rude to her fellow contestants, made fun of their talents and their song choices, and she was rude to the others, as well as thought lowly of the technicians, which are all points that were addressed. So Jana has mentioned 3 to 4 of these points, which gains her a full mark in that area. Next, we have the points to be addressed for the second question, which is how were people affected by Mia's behavior? In the second point, these are the points that were supposed to be mentioned. So other contestants complained, backstage staff were annoyed, presenters enjoyed her humiliation, band dissociated themselves from her, fans hurt and disappointed, and studio audience were angered by her behavior. These points were also addressed by Jana in her article, as she has stated that the crowd was jeering and scowling at her, while also the band gave up on Mia during their performance, which were all points mentioned. So once more, Jana has mentioned around 4 or 3 of these points, gaining her another mark. Now in the second part of the marking scheme, we have what are the points that should be addressed for the third point they asked in the question, which was a part played by the media and public and how Mia has changed. So the points are media manipulation, Mia better aware of the media, public were entertained by fake drama, more positive attitude, and attitude to fame. So this is also some points that Jana has mentioned around 2 to 3 of, gaining her mark, as she has had a wide variety of details included in her text, and she elaborated and evaluated them using her own language. So Jana mentioned around 2 to 3 of these, gaining her mark. Now in the next section of the marking scheme, we can see the bands rewarded for both reading and writing. So based on what we have seen from Jana's work and comparing it to what the marking scheme requires, we can clearly tell that Jana has adhered and abided by the marking scheme's ways and has wrote majority of these points, hence gaining her a band 1 in reading. So what is band 1 in reading? Band 1 in reading is the response reveals a thorough reading of the passage, a wide range of ideas is applied, there is sustained use of supporting detail, which is well integrated into the response, contributing to a strong sense of purpose and approach, developed ideas are well related to the passage, and all 3 bullet points are well covered. This is exactly what Jana has mentioned. Jana has done in her article. Even Maria has stated that Jana is a band 1 in reading, as she has gave her a mark of 13 out of 15 for her reading. Now, let us move on to the writing part. So writing part includes the structure, order, and the style of the language utilized in her article. Now, what is band 1 for this question? We have given Jana the mark of band 1 in writing, as her language was very proficient, and the way she has transitioned her words, the way she has structured her paragraphs, structured her sentences were immaculate, thus gaining her the level of band 1, hence 5 marks. So band 1 is the language of the response sounds convincing and consistently appropriate. Ideas are firmly expressed in a wide range of effective or interesting language. Structure and sequence are sound throughout. Now, after looking at Jana's work, evaluating and giving an analysis on every single segment of her article, comparing her work to what the marking scheme required, and seeing what level she is, we will now move on to where can we see the other members' articles. So if you'd like to view the other members' articles, please click on the link above, which includes every member's articles, including Jana's as well, where you can be able to read and see how other members have written the article, and you could check the marking scheme and compare their work as well. We have now reached the end of our presentation. Thank you very much for watching, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Goodbye.